Hey guys, welcome back to Rest News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there is a ton of news stories to get into today. So I know I'm a few days late, but I've got to talk about this whole CM Punk being attacked by a fan on Monday Night Raw. Now again, you might be saying, Owen, it's happened on Monday. It's Thursday now. What took you so long? Well, I wanted to see how this one played out. I wanted to see the ramifications of this because when you're talking about Seth Rollins being attacked by a fan on Raw, you can only judge as to what's happened. And the thing is with these kind of stories, there is always a ton of fallout. There's always a ton of actually the motivations and the fallout legally, the ramifications as to what happens, Seth Rollins talking about it. So we've got so much to talk about and the fallout when it comes to Seth Rollins being attacked by a fan on Raw. If you didn't see it, I mean, you must have seen it. It's been all over social media and it happened on the show. If you watched Raw on Monday, you would have been seeing Seth Rollins being attacked by a fan. Now, on Raw, there was a segment where Seth Rollins ambushed Finn Balor before their planned match. Now, Rollins beat Balor down inside and outside of the ring and then made his exit as trainers checked on Balor inside of the ring. Now, Rollins and a referee were walking up the ramp as a fan ran down from the mid-level seating. There's been numerous videos of this. He runs down from the mid-level seating, runs right onto the stage, and just takes Seth Rollins down. He just completely tackles him. The Rollins and the referee both go down with this fan as security rushed over, as did a WWE producer. Hall of Famer Michael P.S. Hayes can be seen in the entranceway. At one point, you could even see Becky Lynch, or some people could see Becky Lynch checking on her husband, the father of her child. Why wouldn't she be? There were numerous people just shocked by this. Now, the camera quickly cut away from the fan attack as Raw went to replays of the Rollins-Balor segment. Rollins laughed at Balor in the ring and then talked some trash to the crowd before heading to the back. Now, fans in attendance noted that security quickly dragged the man away. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, there have been shots of this. You can see that's the shot that actually happened on the broadcast. There is much better footage of the actual incident itself in terms of a video as well. That took place too. So we have updates on this and I'll give my thoughts as well. So the fan himself has been named as Eliza Spencer. He's a 24-year-old. He has been arrested and charged by the New York City Police Department with attempted assault and attempted violation of arts and cultural affairs, which means disrupting a live sporting event. This is according to ESPN's Mark Raimondi. Now, as per the police report, Spencer left his seating section at 9:20 p.m. local time, jumped the metal barricade, and attacked Rollins, who suffered a swelling to his lip. Now, Rollins refused medical attention after the incident, a New York City Police Department spokesperson told ESPN. Now, as I mentioned, this altercation between the fan and Rollins could be seen live on television initially until WWE cameras quickly cut away from the ring. Now, WWE also released a statement on the incident. They said, quote, WWE takes the safety of its performers very seriously. The individual who attacked Seth Rollins has been turned over to the New York City Police Department and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, what's crazy about this, of course, is this is the second incident of something like this happening in the Barclays Center at a WWE event. Back in April 2019, a crazed fan tackled WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart during the Hart Foundation's induction ceremony at the 2019 Hall of Fame. Of course, who can forget that incident? It was horrifying to see. And I mentioned this on Twitter, at 365Wrestle on Twitter, if you want to give me a follow. It's horrible. It's horrific. It's terrible. And I mentioned that, and we'll talk about old timers because Chavo Guerrero did some idiotic comments, frankly, after this incident that he since backtracked because he should. We can talk about real heat, and you'll hear these wrestlers from the 80s or the 90s say, well, back in my day, it was a good thing if fans wanted to attack you, and back in my day, I was causing riots, and back in my day, I was getting stabbed, or people were threatening to kill me, or people threatening to shoot me, or doing whatever, and that's fine. We can reminisce about the good old days, and it is fun to look back on that, and we kind of appreciate it as that was what was happening at the time, and it is what it is, but it's 2021. You know, it's 2021. It's a work. And I know people don't like that. And I know people don't like it when you say it's a show and it's entertainment, but we're not stupid. Yes, you have to lose yourself in reality and all this kind of stuff, but it's like a Broadway stage. If someone attacks an actor on the stage in Broadway, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. It's a show. That's what it is. It's a show. So this idea of, well, they should be able to defend themselves. Well, I'm sure they can defend themselves. But again, it's 2021. It shouldn't be coming to that. Either WWE security is laxed, or certainly the Barclays Center security is lax as well. I don't know. I really don't know. But it needs to be fixed. Reportedly, there was another fan ejected from the show, I think during the main event of Raw as well, and that's a rowdy crowd, but they need to sort that, because let's face it here, yes, Seth Rollins got a bit of a cut to the lip, or a swollen lip. That is what it is. That could have been a lot worse, because the ease, and that's really what frightened me, the ease that someone was just easily jump the barricade, boom, the ease that was allowed to happen. What if he was carrying a knife? What if he was carrying a gun or a weapon or whatever like that? It could have been way, way, way worse. Unfortunately, he was just an idiot who got tackled by Seth Rollins, and that's it. But it could have been far, far worse. And that security, whether it's WWE or the Barclays Center, really need to take a long, hard look at themselves, frankly, and realize that that is not acceptable. Again, I get it. He's a bad guy. He's a heel. He's heat. Oh, the wrestlers should be able to defend themselves. It's 2021. We should. What does it take? Does it take for someone to get really seriously hurt? For people to pay attention? This was a warning. This was absolutely a warning, and it needs to be solved. Now, there is more to this story as well, because reportedly the reason why this guy tackled Seth Rollins, this guy, decided to jump the barricade on live television, was that he was catfished. I'm not joking. This is the real story. This is nuts. So as I mentioned, the fan in question is 24-year-old Eliza Spencer. As I mentioned, he was arrested. Now, many people on social media have figured out the cause of Spencer's attack on Rollins. As it turns out, he was scammed by someone pretending to be Seth Rollins online. So this is nuts. So the fan reportedly jumped the barricade and attacked Seth Rollins live on television because he was being scammed into buying Amazon gift cards by a Seth Rollins catfish account. So there is screen grabs that we don't have on the screen right now, but you can find them on social media. There's screen grabs where someone pretending to be Seth Rollins is essentially telling this guy to buy Amazon gift cards, and then I kind of had to put it together. So the guy still doesn't realize that, I guess this guy still doesn't realize that's not Seth Rollins on those accounts. So he attacked Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw because he legitimately thought Seth Rollins, a multi-millionaire performer for the WWE, was scamming him out of $500 Amazon gift cards. What is wrong with this guy? That's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's crazy. Now, in an update, Spencer has spoken with Kerry Burke of the New York Daily News and said he wanted to settle a beef going back to 2019, which stemmed from a catfishing scam, but also wanted to help Finn Balor, who Rollins was feuding with on Raw. He said he's since apologized to WWE and has moved on. This is what he said, quote, "I apologize to the WWE for my actions. I had a legitimate beef, but as a grown man, I could have settled it a different way. If I saw him today, I wouldn't have attacked him. I've moved on." Now, Spencer then said he first met Rollins at a meet and greet a few years back, where he asked Rollins to help him launch a pro wrestling career. He then started communicating with a Rollins imposter on WhatsApp and other social media accounts. Spencer was convinced this was the real Rollins that led to Spencer getting scammed. This is what Spencer said, quote, "He was asking me to send him gift cards in exchange for money, mostly $500 or more, to see if I was loyal. He asked me to be a wrestling blogger for him. I wanted to work my way up." Spencer said he bought around $3,000 in gift cards, but that's Rollins but the check that Rollins sent back bounced. Spencer said he was communicating with Rollins through accounts under his WWE ring name and his real name, Colby Lopez. He was also blocked on social media by the real wife of the real Rollins, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. He since posted these transcripts between himself and the fake Rollins to Instagram after Monday's Raw incident, but none proved he was actually talking to the real WWE superstar. This is what he said in one exchange, quote, "All your true fans love you a lot, and the ones that are fake fans will be fake fans. I'm a real fan of yours." It's nuts. It's crazy. This is also what he says, quote, "My plan was to help Finn Balor. I'm a fan. I like his aura, his attitude. I like everything about his charisma. I like everything about him. I jumped from where I was sitting at. I ran and speared Rollins. I busted his lip open and he caught me in a headlock. I broke the headlock and I was trying to get him. Then the referees and security guards broke us apart." So, I mean, I think this is nuts, to be honest with you. I think it's ridiculous. The guy, obviously, I mean, I don't want to poke fun too much because for me, it certainly appears that the guy must have some certain issues. It has to be the case because, not that he's watching this, but that wasn't a real Seth Rollins account. That wasn't the real Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, again, he's a multi-millionaire. He certainly isn't scamming you out of $500 Amazon gift cards. He's not. That's not the case. And also saying you want to tout Finn Balor, it's a work. It's a work. You know, I credit, I genuinely thought that in this day and age, there wasn't people that, you know, still believed, that weren't kids, but apparently there are. But it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I also briefly wanted to touch on what Chavo Guerrero said as well, because Chavo Guerrero sent out a controversial tweet after Seth Rollins suffered that attack this week on Monday Night Raw. Now, it was such an idiotic tweet, in my opinion. This is what he had to say, quotes, "Remember when the wrestlers were tougher than the fans? The good old days." Now, he got a lot of criticism for that because, again, I think it's just ridiculous. I think it's such a dumb thing to say. Again, what? So basically, Seth Rollins is saying that Chavo Guerrero is saying that security doesn't matter. The wrestlers should be able to defend themselves. Why should they? They're pro wrestlers, they're athletes, but again, so if someone attacked them with a knife, you defend yourself, it doesn't matter. You know, what's security there for? If you can defend yourself, why bother with security? And you wouldn't say in any other sporting event, live event, there's security there for a reason. Whether it's the NFL, the NBA, whether it's Broadway, whether it's whatever it is, there is security there to defend the performers so that they don't get attacked by fans or something worse. So this idea of you're going to have to protect yourselves, all this kind of thing, that's ridiculous. Again, it's this outdated, old, antiquated, old school pro wrestling logic that is just dumb. It's a work. It's 2021. Now, Chavo Guerrero since backtracked on this because a lot of people said, what a stupid thing to say. He said, quote, "That got out of hand quickly. Instead of deleting, I will own it and say no disrespect to Seth Rollins. I've had many agree and many disagree. Only comes from the love of this biz that has fed my fam for 85 years. The fact is, Seth should have never been put in that position in the first place," which again is my point. It's a security issue. It's not a Seth Rollins issue. So your first issue shouldn't be, well, the wrestlers should be able to defend themselves. No, it should be what's going on with security during that period. That should be it. It shouldn't be anything to do with Rollins should defend himself. What we certainly shouldn't see, and we used to see it in the past, and I can't necessarily blame them, but it's still just as bad, when some fan or idiot jumps in the ring and you have these people just beat the hell out of fans. And arguably you would go, they deserve it. And they probably do because they shouldn't get involved and they shouldn't jump the barricade and all this kind of stuff. But you could be just as liable. Because if someone jumps in the ring, which they shouldn't do, but then you stamp on their head and who knows what happens, you could get in a lot of trouble. WWE could get in a lot of trouble. I think Rollins and the security dealt with it well once it happened, but ultimately it shouldn't happen, and it has no place in happening. That's kind of my feelings on this. But look, guys, as always, it's just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on the Seth Rollins attacking incident on Monday Night Raw this week? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys, talking about WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, all things pro wrestling here on the channel. So be sure to get involved in the community. Drop a comment below. All opinions are welcome. If you have enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button too. Really does help us out here on YouTube. Got the rankings and get to people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos previously. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestling News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or have you come across this video today, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.